Hello and welcome to the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, race number 5 from the Auto Club Speedway out of California, the 2-mile racetrack. We're set to go racing, sponsored by Axo Sanitary Services, presented by MW Productions. I'm Michael Keaton, and down pushing the buttons with me tonight on the production studio is MW himself, Michael Woolley. And I want to go to last week. We were at Bristol, and what a race. Last week at Bristol, Jose Gonzalez would win that race after leading 86 laps, pretty much the majority of the race. He would lead. Stefan Marinac would finish second, and that number 24 machine, Brandon Cherburko, would make a fascinating run to the top 3 to finish third. Dwayne Vincent, the Black Dahlia, finished 4th. Chad Cole would finish one lap down in 5th spot. And Frank Busciella would roll out 6th spot, 3 down. Matt Lacrosse in the 21 car, who would start on the pole for the Bristol race and lead 19 laps, finished 3 laps down as well. Neil Fasakis, 3 laps down as well. And 8th, CJ LeVere finished 9th at Bristol last week, 4 laps down. And rounding out the top 10 at Bristol was Ben Burnett. Ben would finish 5 laps down, but Douglas Wyatt and that Viva Mexico Racing Chevy would give him all he could handle, and he would finish 11th. But tonight, it's Cali. It's Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. And the Cali Surf Shop 84, set for 84 laps here. Now, the point standings are quite interesting. Nice little battle shaping up. Dwayne Vincent leading just by a cat hair, folks, just by 1 point over Jose Gonzalez. And Jose's got that 1 win. Stefan Marinac sits 3rd in points, just 2 back from Vincent. Neil Fasakis sit 3rd, 3 points back in 4th. CJ LeVere looking to find his number 1 win of the season. Hopefully here maybe tonight at California, sits 5th in the points, 4 back. Matt Lacrosse, who's probably one of the most consecutive drivers in the ITSR group, has 6 points to track down Dwayne Vincent. He's in 6th. He's also got 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s with an average finish of 2.8. No one better. 7th, Adam Hiley, who would have that win at Daytona stripped away from him. Blaine Woodruff is 14 back from Dwayne Vincent. He sits 8th. John Wilco, just 17 points back from the leader, is 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Brian Harvey, who is yet to make a top 5 appearance in the ITSR group here on Tuesday nights, rounds out the top 10. Also, though, tied with Brian Harvey's Jeff Eden, also 18 points back, also looking for a top 5. But again, California is where it's all at. And, California is one of those racetracks that's got multiple racing grooves. We'll see guys on the low lane, the low groove, the mid-high lane, even up near the wall lane. That's just what type of track this is, a 2-mile racetrack. It's 65 degrees here tonight in California with a slight little 2-mile-an-hour wind chill coming from the north and southwest. And qualifying underway right now at California. Brandon Cherburko would actually be the fastest in practice, but not so fast in qualifying. Currently, that number 3 machine sits 2nd quickest on the leaderboard right now. We just saw Blaine Woodruff take his time with a 39.6 for him, puts him tip quickest currently. And Matt Lacrosse, who just spun it around in qualifying, is 5th in points. And with that said, we're going to step away, let the qualifying continue as they're closing in on the final few to left to qualify. We're going to take you to the promo video and to the national anthem, and then the starting lineups for the Surf Shop 84 here at the Auto Club Speedway, the ITSR Twisted Cup Series.
by the sharp-dressed man. Gold watch, diamond ring, well, I ain't missing on a single thing. Conflicts, stick pin, ask if I don't know the do you in. They come running just as fast as they can.
Hey, look here, beavers. You better hide your wives, hide your husband, and look here, both of you hide your kids, cause we're coming.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Top hat, and I don't worry 'cause my wallet's fat. Black shades, white gloves, looking sharp, looking for love. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Make some noise! Clean shirt, new shoes, and I don't know where I'm going to. Silk suit, black tie, and I don't need a reason why. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about it.
And welcome back, where qualifying has just ended and the grid has just began. Jose Gonzalez would be the quickest in qualifying, and Brandon Cherburko is going to start out to the right beside him on that first row. Evan?
Yeah, row number 2, third starting position could belong to the driver number 15 machine. That's Adam Hiley. And outside him, the 24 of Stefan Marinak can make up row number 2.
Row 3, the 37 for Ben Burnett going to be the 5th quickest. And how about this? Brian Harvey in that 66 machine going to roll off 6th tonight.
John Higman Jr. going to take the number 60 machine off the grid, position number 7 inside of row number 4. And to his right-hand side, the 21 machine of Matt Lacrosse starting 8th.
Number 9 tonight, the 46 Mark Bratcher. To the outside, the 10th starting line will be the 4 car of CJ LeVere.
Take a look at the drivers on row number 6 on the inside. 11th starting position going to be Rhett McBride in the number 2 machine. And Scott Simley in the 68 going to be starting P12.
The 83 car of Jay Horton rolls off 15th. To the outside of him, the 35 machine of Chad Chillen.
Blaine Woodruff going to roll the 71 machine off position number 15, and 16th alongside him, the number 5 machine of Douglas Wyatt.
Joey P. going to be 17th tonight in that Deuce machine. Starting beside him in 18th, the 43 Doug Rolfe.
Josh Cheney, the number 14 Chevrolet, going to be starting in the 19th spot alongside him. 91 machine of Jeff Eaton going to round out the top 20.
And the last 2 to take time, the 21st quickest car tonight, the 89 machine of Neil Fasekas. And to his outside right, starting beside him, the 48 machine of Frank Coons.
It's going to be the MGD Ford Fusion of J. Randall Watkins, the number 77 machine, going to be starting 23rd. 24th, going to be John Wilco at the number 62.
And bringing up the ITSR rear will be that number 98 machine of Stephen Herring. And Stephen's always got something fun to say during the drivers' meetings. I love it. And I love this track, Evan. California Auto Club Speedway, the Cali Surf Shop. 84, baby. 84 laps here set tonight. And a lot of good drivers in here. 25 going to take the green flag tonight.
And that's right, Jose Gonzalez talking before the race with him, says that the setup, obviously him sitting on the pole position in 26, says right now, setup is tight on entry, crazy loose on exit. We know that how wide this racetrack is. These guys can get awful brave, especially when we get down to those closing laps. When your car's loose coming out of the corner, it's nearly as worse than it is being tight. You're going to be slipping and sliding side by side. We're going to see some door banging 2-3 wide action, Michael. It's going to be another great race. You mentioned 84 laps around this 2-mile speedway. It's going to be a great race.
Yeah, and to mention too, 84 laps. These guys make and push 40 on fuel, but that's really going to be pushing it. We believe anywhere between 35 and 40 they will come down for the fuel. So here we go. Speaking of coming down, the pace car's down, and Jose Gonzalez is off and away to about a 4 to 5 car length lead as he takes the green flag here at the Auto Club Speedway, set for race number 5 in the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, sponsored by Exo Sanitary Service.
Yeah, Jose did exactly what he needed to do. A little bit of a battle shaping up for the number 2 spot. Adam Hiley has been able to sneak into that position. He currently sits in front of Brandon Cherburko. Cherburko started in that 3rd position right now as they single file out through the top 5. A little bit of 3 wide, 2 wide action now as they try to fan out around the 10th spot.
Yeah, that's a really good battle right now. Mark Bratcher in that 46 machine up underneath the 68 of Scott Simley out of 4 there. Looks like the 46 is going to get a little loose. And they're going to stay side by side, as well as the Deuce and 4 car of CJ LeVere down to the bottom of the inside here at Cali as Mark Bratcher comes up awful close to Simley. Oh, Doyle.
These guys trying to feel it out and trying to get a couple laps in side by side for position number 2. Adam Hiley has been forced to the outside lane. The 3 of Brandon Cherburko wants to get something going. They're door to door now as they enter corner number 3. Brandon Cherburko on the inside, the 15 of Adam Hiley. 2 lanes up top, 15 slides way wide, has to slow it down to keep out of the wall. Brandon Cherburko at a number 3 machine going to move up to that 2nd spot.
Easy does it too. He kind of made that look easy, and now the 24 car, Stefan Marinak, is sitting nice and pretty in that 4th spot. Going to try to reel in Mr. Adam Hiley, as we got a battle back behind them for the 5th spot, where Ben Burnett just lost it to John Higman Jr.
John Higman Jr. is going to pull up in front of him, and the 60 machine, 66 machine is up in front of these guys. That was Ben Burnett in the 37. He's going to lose that spot to John Higman Jr. now, and through 3 and 4, nobody else going to challenge right now, as Jose Gonzalez, race leader, nearly, if not did, scrape that outside wall at a corner number 4. The 3 machine of Brandon Chaburko is going to close it about a car length. They're down the front straightaway as they go into turns number 1 and 2. It is bumper to bumper for the number 2 spot, but also Chaburko still trying to close for the number 1 spot, trying to knock off a 10th like he did last lap.
Wow, how about this? Adam Hiley going to look back up underneath that 3 of Brandon Chaburko in turn 3 here. He has the momentum, but can he pull the Chevy out of turn 4 with that 2nd place lead? And it looks like he can, Evan.
He's going to be able to get it done. You see 15 machine this time by the stripe having the advantage over Brandon Chaburko. It was the leader's take, lap number 5 of 84 laps here at the Auto Club Speedway. We are bumper to bumper within and throughout the entire top 5. 15 gets sideways. Adam Hiley has to hang on to it. He got up to the back bumper of Jose Gonzalez, got him sideways. 3 machine of Chaburko able to check up before running him over. They stay single file for now, and that gives Jose Gonzalez a 2-car length lead cushion for the time being. But these guys 2nd through 5th again, trying to close in. 3 machine with a good run. That's Brandon Chaburko. Not going to make him a move on 2nd quite yet.
Yeah, this is basically a 5-way battle here. The top 5 drivers, Evan, are all right here in a line. Look, they've just closed the door to Jose Gonzalez. Adam Hiley was within about a half of a car length now coming out of turn 2 with maybe a run, but the 3 car is going to dive underneath and probably cancel out that run here going into 3. I don't know, we'll have to see, but it looks like the 3's giving him a little shove.
Yeah, the 3 machine of Chaburko, again, we've seen him trade off the number 2 spot with Adam Hiley a couple of times here, and maybe he wants to wait for the 15 to try to make a move at a number 1 spot before he does and try to get 2 birds with 1 stone per se. But Brandon Chaburko definitely with a strong machine trying to utilize which draft he can down these big front stretch and obviously the back straightaway as well. Very big racetrack change of position for position number 4. John Higman Jr. is going to put the 60 down low at a 24 of Marinak as he went into the corner. 60 slides up. He is in front of Stefan Marinak this time out of back straightaway. 24, not with enough room to make the crossover quite yet. Those guys going to stay single file out. So 60 going to move up into position number 4, give him about half a lap, and they'll be right back up the back bumper of Brandon Chaburko, the number 3 machine, who continues to ride P3.
Little freeway battle back here for 14th, 15th, and 16th, and in fact, the 14 of Josh Cheney just made a side-by-side type pass over the 83 and the 43, went right up underneath them, Evan, like they were kind of sitting still, and now the 43 car is going to have his rear view mirror full of Jay Horton's 83 Chevy for just a moment, and then he just kind of takes off. I think momentum, Evan, here into the corners is really, you can really tell if the car's got momentum or not.
Yeah, and most of the way we're going to see passes is you're going to have to throw it down there to the inside. You're going to have to get that run, and this is a long front straightaway and also the back straightaway as well. You're going to get that run, throw it down there into the corner. The only problem is you're going to slide up coming off the corner, and that's where that guy gets the opportunity to cross you over, go back to your inside, coming off of that next corner to take the position back, which is something that we tend to see here at the Auto Club Speedway with these Gen 6 race cars. 26 machine Jose Gonzalez, race leader, with about a 3-4 car length lead over Adam Hiley. Ran a little bit lower at a turn number 2 than all the guys behind him. 15 closes into the bumper through 3 and 4. Coming up, he's got a run. He's going to look to the inside, side by side for position number 1.
Yeah, Jose Gonzalez wiggled just ever so slightly, Evan, coming out of turn 4, and that was just enough for the 15 to put his nose underneath him, and he did. But Jose Gonzalez still getting credit for the lap led that time by, but Adam Hiley looking for the lead in turns 2, coming off of the corner. No, sir. Jose Gonzalez still going to try to fight and claw his way back on the high side with Brandon Chaburko trying to determine where he wants to go. He forces 3 wide.
Oh, he throws it in, nearly gets it to Adam Hiley. They have to check up door to door. 15 now sliding up the racetrack. Hiley gonna drop back to the number 3 spot, and it is the 3 of Chaburko to the inside. 15 with a big wiggle. He's gonna cut off the 60 of John Higman Jr. over the radio, explaining his displeasure over that incident. 3 machine now back up at the front of the field once again. Chaburko still on the inside of Jose Gonzalez, trying to get it to work. Can't get it done, and Adam Hiley now stalks in position number 3.
Yeah, Adam Hiley, we could hear him over the radio saying, man, it's just getting wicked loose on me. And you could just tell that car was just about to let it go on itself. And that 60 car, John Higman Jr., doing a great job of letting out the throttle just ever so slightly to let Adam catch his breath. But tell you who, somebody who hasn't caught their breath yet, and that's that 26 car of the 26 car of Jose Gonzalez. Still hanging on to the lead, but that 3 car, Brandon Chaburko, is still underneath him, and we've got 2 side-by-side battles here up front.
Yeah, it is for the number 1 spot, and it is going to be the number 3 spot behind them. Chaburko still on the inside, nearly gets into the left rear of Jose Gonzalez up at the front of this field right now. Now they're going to single file out in the top 2, side-by-side for position number 3. Going to have the 24, Stefan Marinak, down low on the 15 of Adam Hiley. Through turns number 3 and 4, 60 machine of John Higman Jr. running just behind these guys. 24 of Marinak going to be able to clear the 15 machine and move up into position number 3.
And you can just see Adam fall in right behind him. Let's see what he does. Is he going to stay underneath? He's going to kind of just give him a shove off into turn 1, let him coast the corner around. But how about this? Just up ahead, the 3 car looking in the lead for now, but Jose Gonzalez is going to power it off of turns 2. And it looks like the 3 car has about a half a car length lead going into 3 here. Jose Gonzalez trying to fight back on the high side, but he's going to lose the momentum, Evan. And I think this 3 car is going to lead this lap. For the first time tonight, we've got a different leader as far as leading laps.
Brandon Chaburko is going to take it this time by the stripe to take lap number 14 of 84. Move the number 3 machine now up into the number 1 position. Chaburko started on the outside row number 1 and is going to lead that lap. First time that somebody has led a lap this evening that was not Jose Gonzalez, so that is the first lead change per se. Jose running in the number 2 spot. Adam Hiley, 15 machine, settles back down into number 3 position. Stefan Marinak in the 24, not far behind in 4th, and John Higman Jr. kind of rounds out this group of about 5 cars. Actually, the 66 machine, Brian Harvey, in 6th, just trails this group of cars, and then they have a little bit of a gap back to the rest of the field. So top 6 or 7 or so trying to pull away. Top 5 are the closest bunch together out of this group right now as we continue into green flag conditions. 3 machine with a car length or 2 lead over Jose Gonzalez coming out of 2.
And as they begin to just sit there, it looks like, and ride in a line here, Evan, we're going to take a first commercial break at Auto Club Speedway. And hopefully they'll continue this nice green flag run through the break. When we return, hopefully, some more green flag racing. And as promised, we're back, and as promised, we're still green flag racing here at the Auto Club Speedway.
Top 4 cars right now at a racetrack, continuing actually this time by the start-finish line. Going to take lap number 20. Still green flag since the start of this race. If you're just tuning in, Jose Gonzalez started on a pole, led the first 13 laps or so, and just a couple of laps ago it was Brandon Traburco after start on the outside of that number 1 row there. Second starting spot has now advanced to that lead spot. We had a little bit of a breakaway from what was about the first 5, 6, maybe 7 cars within about a second of each other. That's since broken up. Right now, top 4 machines sit within a half a second of each other. Half of those cars are side by side right now for the number 3 spot. John Higman Jr. going to get around Adam Hiley for the number 3 spot. After these 4 cars, it's nearly 2 seconds back from race leader Brandon Traburco until we find the cars in 5th on back. Brian Harvey, 66 machine, leading that charge right now.
Yeah, folks, if you're just joining us, the top 10 in points, one of the guys is not here tonight, Dwayne Vincent. He is the points leader, and he is not here. He has started 4 races, but not tonight here at California, so that might put a little dent in his lead in the points.
Yeah, definitely not a prime opportunity for him per se. You take a look at the championship standings. Jose Gonzalez only 1 point behind him right now. The season, Jose has already picked up a W, and Jose is running P2 right now. It already has laps led, so he is doing exactly what he needs to do, considering the fact that, once again, Dwayne Vincent not in this evening's field for the race tonight. Going to definitely drop a couple of spots there up at the top of those championship standings.
Yeah, absolutely, and they do things a little different here on the Tuesday night series. It's a 12-race schedule. There's a block of 6 events. Evan, after 6 events, the ITSR will reset the series for 6 more obvious broadcasts, and kind of like a different championship. We will have a championship payout after every 12 races, and they will follow the 36 race schedule that you see on Sundays with the Cup Series. So basically, it's kind of neat, Evan. They'll break the series down into 3 different seasons, if you will, 12 races for each season, and you'll have a championship driver at the end of every 12 races. And the cash payout, man, you got to be kidding me. The top 5 will get paid if 20 drivers sign up. If 30 drivers sign up, the top 8 get paid. The top 10 get paid. 40 drivers sign up. So the more people that signs up, the more people will get paid. And they also have a points race for all 36 races. And if someone wins all 3 12 race blocks, they'll receive a $100 bonus. The top 3 will be a payout after the 36-week event. So there's just all kinds of stuff going on with the ITSR group, and if you're looking for a league, check them out. ITSR, Intensely Twisted Sim Racing.
You can find their page also online at the iLeagueRace.com section of things. You can check out all their points and whatnot. You can sign up, contact them from there, and get out here on the racetrack. Who knows for next week? Whatever you guys are looking for, again, definitely open to new members. So make sure if you're looking for a league, Tuesday nights are open, and instead of just sitting down and watching the broadcast, how about you hop behind that steering wheel and get in on the action? Race leaders right now going around some lap traffic. 48 of Frank Kuhn's going to let another lap as he drops what is now going to be 10 laps down, and also Joey Pieta, the number 22 machine, is going to go 1 lap down, currently in the lucky dog position in the 24th spot, which leaves 23 cars on the lead lap right now as we continue to run under the green flag. A long green flag run in the making here right now. Michael working number 26 right now, lap-wise, and almost closing in, actually past a quarter distance in this race. So despite how big this racetrack is and how long the laps are, about 39 upwards of 39 seconds, if you get green flag racing going, you can start to knock these things off. And this race can start to come down to the end a lot sooner than you might have expected.
Yeah, and also too, Evan, we're going to see pit stops here shortly. The one thing that Jose Gonzalez, me and him talked about before the race started tonight during qualifying was that the fuel laps, only 35 laps for the utmost part being 40, these guys will come down pit road. Now let's just say they can stretch it to 40. Obviously we have 84 laps.
You definitely talk about that, 84 laps, 40 lap, if you can push that. It's going to leave you about 4 laps short, and some drivers might try to take a little bit of a gamble and try to stretch that, but the way that we're seeing the green flag runs and the way how quickly that this really is moving is showing us right now the fact that you may not get maybe the necessary caution laps required to save that little bit of fuel that you might want to be able to get to the end of this thing. So you may also end up seeing some mixed strategy depending on which teams are going to be on which side of that decision.
Absolutely, and with that said, Evan, it might be a good idea to go ahead and take another commercial break, come back. Oh, wait, we're just hearing word from Michael Woolley that Jose Gonzalez is actually down pit road, so kind of early here is what he told me, lap 35, but crew chief telling you to come on down.
Yeah, and it's going to show you right there that they do not believe that they can make it on that one pit stop, so they're going to come in and come down this time by around lap 30, make one more, and they will be good to go for the rest of this race. So scheduled pit stop for Jose Gonzalez, going to come into his pit stall way down at the end of the pit lane, the number 1 pit box, obviously for holding that pole position. Going to be a 4-tire stop and nothing else for him. Going to get the gas and go. One car had some trouble that went by, a 71 machine of Blaine Woodruff got sideways, went through the front straightaway grass right by Jose in his pit box, able to hang on to it. No yellow flag is going to fly, so staying green on the racetrack. John Higman Jr. is now going to be shown at number 1 spot.
Yeah, Brandon Schaberko down pit road, Adam Hiley, Stefan Marinac, Ben Burnett, and C.J. LaVere, Matt Lacrosse, Jay Horton. Pretty much quarter of the field coming down pit road with Brandon Schaberko leading that pack down. Back out on the racetrack, though, Jose Gonzalez is back out after his pit stop, so if things cycle around as they should, he will be your leader here at California.
And John Higman Jr. down on pit road. Brian Harvey yet to take his stop, so Brian Harvey in the 66 machine now going to be scored in the number 1 spot. This is the time, however, when cautions could mean some trouble for some of our leaders. You have a bunch of guys, old tires, fresh tires, entering and exiting the pit lane, and the way that this pit road is so long down that big D-shaped front straightaway is the fact that you're going to lose a lap. Jose came in from pit road from 2nd spot, currently sits 1 lap down, and had a close call getting around to 66 of Brian Harvey, race leader, who comes down pit road right now.
Yes, he did. They nearly collected each other up, and I apologize. Brandon Schaberko is going to lead this race after the cycled pit stop. So Gonzalez was not able to even catch up any. In fact, Evan, I think that Jose Gonzalez lost a little bit of the ground maybe on that pit stop. Because he's got, 3 cars, a pretty substantial lead here before they first pitted, remember?
He had a little bit of an advantage there, and it's going to come down to how aggressively you're going to enter the pit lane here, especially when it's going to happen under green flag conditions. Pit road speed being 50 miles an hour. The 66 machine is going to exit pit road. That is Brian Harvey's ride, so Rhett McBride now going to be scored at the number 1 spot right now on the green flag. Still out here, lap number 33 currently in progress here at Auto Club Speedway.
And these are all scheduled pit stops. Remember, we talked about lap 35 possibly being the lap that they come down pit road. And obviously, Evans, like you said, they come down a little earlier, not expecting to make it even to that 40 lap that I was thinking about stretching it to. So I think 35 was pushing it, as we are completing lap 35 in just a few moments.
And quick track facts about the Auto Club Speedway this evening, located in Fontana, California. Maximum capacity of 84,000 fans, owned and operated by the International Speedway Corporation. Opened in 1997, took 2 years to build, so the track broke ground in 95 for a cost of $100 million. The track itself, again, a D-shaped oval asphalt surface, very old asphalt, has not been repaved anytime recently, which makes it really rough on those tires. 4 turns, obviously the banking going to be 14 degrees, and the corners 11 down that front stretch, and 3 down the back straightaway as well.
And as the pit stops have been pretty much cycled through, we're going to use this time to take our commercial break. And hopefully, Evan, return everyone to green flag racing at Auto Club Speedway, the California Surfing Shop 84, with the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, sponsored by Axio Sanitary Services, and of course presented by MW Productions. We'll be back in just a second.
In a world where survival is the only rule, and feelings have no place, where winning is everything, and weakness is fatal, how much difference can one person make? That depends on the person.
Caution is out, caution is
In
out.
every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind, except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny. There is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
And we're back live, where we have just witnessed our first caution here tonight at California. Frank Kuntz, I know he's going to kill me for that, Frank Kuntz just spun it out right in front of Chad Chilling, man, and the 14 car of Josh Cheney. I'm talking about they threaded the needle with the 48 car. Wow. Great job by those two. No one else involved. The 43 car, Doug Roth, may need to go down pit road to settle some things out. He missed that wreck as well, but man, it was close. The 48 car, Frank Coons, is out on pit road, spun it out, and brought us under the yellow.
And he was running multiple laps down and a little bit off the pace, and the car just got sideways, and those guys literally split, and one went high, one went low, able to avoid the incidents. All the leaders coming down pit road this last time under the yellow flag, which could set up an interesting strategy to see maybe could they push it to the finish. It's a long, long way to go to do so. However, if we do see a string of yellow flags, who knows what is possible. In fact, Mark Bratcher was the first person to leave pit road. Fuel only stop for his number 46 crew. Everybody else taking on fresh tires. But we do remain under the yellow flag here in Fontana, California. The Auto Club Speedway this time by scoring is going to update, and we'll be able to take an updated look at you guys up here at the top. And it is Mark Bratcher right now in the number one spot. Again, no tires coming down pit road. Going to be a fuel-only stop. These drivers just did finish green flag pit stops. Mark Bratcher entered pit road in the number 8 spot. This strategy call could pay dividends depending on how it works out. The cars are in front of him looking for wave rounds, and J. Randall Watkins, also Stephen Herring and Douglas Wyatt. Those cars not one lap down because they are in front of our leaders, between the leader and the pace car. When we do get the one to go, assuming they do not come down pit road, they will be waved around to the tail end of this longest line and be able to maintain their lead lap position. So if they all successfully do so, 22 cars will be on the lead lap for this ensuing restart.
Yeah, and Evan, another thing too, look at where this caution fell. I mean, it couldn't have fell at a worse time. Remember, these guys couldn't even barely get to 40 laps before they had to, or 30 laps before they had to come down and pit. So now you take that, we're just a little over, what, 40 laps?
Yeah, right now sitting in lap 39 under yellow flag.
Yeah, so, and then we'll have, what, 42, 41, 40 maybe to go when we go back green. And they're going to have to come down and pit again. So if it stays green, Evan, where do you pit? Do you pit in 20 laps after we go green here, or do you wait until the gas runs out, come down and pit with 10 to go?
It's going to depend on where the cautions fall. And again, a very, very good job by all of these drivers on this most recent green flag run. But you got to look at this now. Not quite at the halfway point, but I mean, just over a half hour of racing, you guys knocked out 40 or so laps at Auto Club. Great job to be able to get that green flag running. You got to look forward now to the fact that that field really got spread out. And if we see any sort of caution within about the 10 laps, it will most likely bring a string of cautions all throughout to the checkered flag, just because of the fact that cautions breed cautions. This racetrack is very racy. Again, it's tight on entry, loose on exit. A lot of contact and a lot of wrecks can occur from side by side and no holds bar racing. So you got to think, you really can't make a firm decision. These teams are obviously going to have a preference. Some of them might want to pit later to get the fresh tires. They're going to be watching each other. They're going to be watching those yellow flags. And then when it comes down to it, maybe a split-second decision on what the call is going to be and if that call is going to be the right one to get you in victory lane.
Yeah, and they had something, a little bit of a wager on the line from MW Inspections Michael Woolley. Make it to that 50-lap mark, and the winner would receive some cash money. And I think they're going to be coming to old Frank Coons after the race is over with and saying, Frank, come on, man. You brought that caution out. We only had about 9 to go.
Yeah, something wasn't right with his car. I mean, he has a handful of laps right now. sits 19 laps down, and he does appear to not be on the racetrack as of this moment. So the crew take a look at that machine behind the wall. He was off pace, nearly collected some leaders. That's a bad deal. Pace car down to pit road. Mark Bratcher's on a loud pedal green flag in a fly once again here at the Auto Club Speedway as the number 46 tries to take off. We're going to go side by side for position number 2.
And that side-by-side action is the 60 car. It's down low. That's John Hickman Jr. racing Brandon Traburko. Meanwhile, Mark Bratcher and that 46 car's off to the races as the 3 car takes off the run off of 2, takes his momentum with him. Evan, I think he's going to catch Bratcher possibly coming out of 4 here.
We're going to have to see how beneficial those tires are that the 46 did not get. 3 Machina Traburko runs second right now. A little bit of a wiggle coming up off the corner. Has a small run. You see him and the car behind him, 66 of John Hickman Jr., look low. 60 stays high now, and bumper to bumper, a car length separating the top 3 now as we enter turn number 1. They are stalking that number 46 up front, and there goes the number 3 machine of Brandon Traburko down low at a turn number 2.
Yep, Brandon's going to try to go for the lead here down the backstretch at Auto Club Speedway. The 46 Mark Bratcher up high, 60 John Hickman Jr. running third, and he's going to take that over. And now John Hickman Jr. is going to follow in pursuit. Back here, though, Evan, in 12th, as that lead up there has just changed. The 43 car, Scott Simley, and the 14 of Josh Cheney was really going after it. I'm talking about you would think that they were battling for the lead. And, hey, every position counts on this racetrack.
And it also comes down to also where you want to be on the racetrack, because, again, every position does matter because track, it's so important for track position at this track because it's so hard to pass. I mean, we can look at the guys that took those first 30 laps under green flag condition and worked and chipped away that whole time and was able to pick up 3 spots and makes 1 bobble and loses 6 of them. So track position, very important here. Like always, we're going to go 3 wide for position number 3, though. Highly on the bottom, Bradger in the middle, Marinac up high. Marinac might think about backing out of it. No, they're going to be real tight. 15 almost gets into the 46. They're able to hang on for now. 3 wide now behind them for 4th.
Wow, and C.J. Lavera's got it all in his crosshairs in front of him, trying to rack up as many positions as possible. During that, Evan, the Joey P. 22 machine, the man out of New Jersey, comes off turn 4, goes down below the apron, through the pit stall, flips it over, going down barrel rolling through pit road. Now the caution didn't come out, obviously it was down below the racing surface, but Joey P is definitely out of this race. He made about 5 or 6 flips going down pit road.
Yeah.
66 spinning off turn 2.
Trouble for the 66 machine. Trouble coming off of the corner. Brian Harvey slow and down on the apron. Way out of the racing groove. Is able to keep it off of the inside wall. And that wall jets out at you. So a good job. 66 able to hang on to it. He is stopped now to back straightaway. He is going to take the tow back to pit road. And I do believe we remain under green flag conditions.
Yep, still green flag racing. And looking back here at the 21 car, Matt Lacrosse, Scott Simley going after it here for the battle for 12th spot. Matt Lacrosse started tonight's race in 8th, but somehow managed to find himself going backwards since then. Scott Simley stuck in a time warp here. He started 12th and currently is in 12th.
Battle heating up for the number 1 spot. John Hickman Jr. and Brandon Traburko have pulled away and checked out on this field after Mark Bratcher was unable to hang on to the track position that he gained himself after entering pit road 8th. Taking fuel only, coming out first, currently sits 7th on the racetrack. These top 2 guys with about a 6/10 of a second cushion back to the drivers in the 3rd spot. Hickman Jr. looks at the bottom on the 3 of Traburko down to back straightaway this time. Not going to get it quite yet. Does he throw it into the corner? No, and he's going to stay single file for that, but that 60 just a couple inches off the bumper of that 3 machine.
Hey, back here in Fort Ben Burnett, John Wilco and Jay Horton, 3-way battle here. Jay Horton nearly getting into John Wilco there coming off of turn 4. Hey, buddy, how you doing? The Chevy of the red black machine goes underneath him. And I'm not sure if, well, actually, I don't think Jay Horton's running a red and black paint scheme, but currently he is on my monitor. Jay Horton underneath, though, for the pass.
He's able to get that done right now. 21 drivers remain on the lead lap, and top 2 aren't pulling away anymore. Actually, they're allowing Adam Hiley and the rest of this gang to catch him. Hiley only 0.6 of a second off of them, as opposed to the 0.8 that it was a handful of laps ago. This time by the stripe, we're going to get a more accurate reading, as scoring is going to update, and it is going to go back to 0.9 of a second. So Chaburko and Higman, despite the fact that they are battling, they're not double file yet, sticking bumper to bumper up there for the first and second positions, and trying to clear and get a little bit of a gap here on these guys' third on pack, as the field now starts to spread out, and we start to get that appearance of what they're hoping, and what we want to see is a lot of more green flag racing.
Yeah, so far they've done an outstanding job, of keeping this race under the green flag, except for that one time, and we've all done it. We saw Frank Coons loop it around. I've done it. We've all done it. It's just part of it, and it's hard to take. It's just part of it.
The laps are really starting to wind down here in Fontana, California. Again, you're watching ITSR Racing here on MW Productions, Intensely Twisted Sim Racing. Green flag out after one caution flag, and currently running lap 52 now, as race leader Brandon Chaburko continuing to try to hold off John Higman Jr. These top 2 almost like at a restrictor plate track, kind of running bumper to bumper and a little bit pulling away from those guys third on back right now in an 84 lap affair past the halfway point, which means we are on the downhill side of things. And if this stays green and it's starting to shape out to be a 2-horse race, don't count all those other guys out yet, because this time by the stripe, we still have 32 laps remaining.
And as they continue to clock on that time, Evan, and clock down those laps, we're going to take another commercial break. I'm going to go get a glass of water, get Michael W. a nice chocolate chip cookie down from the bakery. And Evan, I know you've been after me about a milkshake, so I'll get you one of those too. And when we return, hopefully we'll see Brandon Chaburko and the 60 car still running this super speedway style race at California here in the ITSR Twisted Cup Series.
Hi, I'm Todd Malmstrom, driver of the 75M Ford Mustang GT. This is what I do by night. And this is what I do by day. I sell new Fords, and I've got the best selections of used inventory that you could ask for. Come see me down here at Central Ford.
Are you tired of getting hassled at the dealerships? Looking for a salesman that knows what he's talking about? Are you looking to buy a new or used car? Then look no further! Sexton Ford Moline, Illinois has the biggest selection of new or pre-owned vehicles and Todd Malmstrom is the salesman you want. Todd is an expert when it comes to cars, and if you don't believe me, then you should see him race on a Sunday night. With his top-notch professional customer service and expertise, he will make sure you go home in the right car for the right price. No hassle, no haggling. Todd will make sure that you're happy when you leave the lot with your newer pre-owned vehicle. Remember, Sexton Ford may be the talk of the town, but so is Todd Malmstrom. If you're in the market for a new ride, then buy one from a winner. Todd Malmstrom at Sexton Ford, Moline.
We're back in as promised, green flag here. Looking back at the 12th spot car, Scott Simley. The 24 of Stefan Marinak underneath, Chad Schilling, and the 37 Ben Burnett. Also in the mix is Ben Burnett and Jay Horton. Wow, Evan, look at this battle here for the 11th spot, and they're closing in on that 10th car spot of Matt Lacrosse.
It is a big group of cars, about 5 of them all packed together here. 24 takes a look to the inside. That's Stefan Marinak currently running in the unlucky number 13th position. Marinak started this race in 4th, looking to continue his march back up to the front of the field, sitting currently behind Chad Schilling. Right in the middle of this big group of cars, they've single-filed out for now. 35 going to make an aggressive move. Chad Schilling to the inside of Scott Simley, side by side, door to door. Coming up and off of turn number 4, does that 68 get the run he needs to? It's going to be nose to nose here at the start-finish line. Advantage is going to remain with Simley by just thousandths of a second, as more passing behind them. Looks like Stefan Marinak at a 24 is going to lose one more spot to Jay Horton, and Schilling is able to get around Simley through 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and Scott Simley now is going to start to look underneath Chad Schilling here in turn 3, possibly. Going to let out the binders just a little bit and let it roll through the center as they're starting to make their way on the Matt Lacrosse's 21 machine as he exits turn 4. Right now up front, though, still currently single file. The race is back here in the back, and I just seen a car pull off down pit road, and that's Stefan Marinak. Perhaps, Evan, short pitting here could be scheduled pit stop. I don't know, though.
And we saw these guys come down pit road at around lap 30, green flag conditions. Some of them topped off under the yellow flag. This would be arguably the 2/3 mark of the race. So if they don't think they can push it on fuel, which is a really long time, and you would really need a lot of caution laps in order to do so, I think this is somewhere in the range where we're going to start to see people hit the pit lane. Now, I don't think it's going to happen like the way we saw before, where everybody comes down at the same time. But short pitting, you're going to get back out there on fresher tires, when other people are logging laps a little bit slower on their older tires. Some guys are going to pit later, get a big boost with the tires, fresh tires late in the run. This is all, again, assuming that we stay green the whole way through this, but a lot of strategy is going to keep all these crew chiefs up on pit boxes very, very busy. Top 2 have broken away by in excess of 2 seconds now, as they have right now 2-second lead over the 3rd place machine, Jose Gonzalez, and a 26 machine pole sitter sitting P3.
Yeah, and that pit stop that Marinak did come down for and get service for, Evan, was scheduled, but too quick on pit road. He got held, and man, probably killed his momentum. He's back here, and he's spinning. He's spinning out. He's spinning out, guys, off turn 4. No caution. No caution. Down below the apron. Oh, he's going to sling it back up on the racetrack. Oh, man. I don't think caution's out.
No yellow yet. He's having some trouble getting it going. That's close. I do believe we do stay green, but he spun it around a couple times there. Got sideways coming out of the corner. Locked up the brakes. Went in through the grass. He's now getting back up to speed. Stefan Marinak qualified 4th. Talked about how he was running in the unlucky 13th spot, and I guess that little bit of a jinx caught him or so, because he is now down 2 laps, sitting 21st spot. And he was running real good at the start of this evening's race, so tough break for him and his crew. Not the way that they wanted at the end, and that result is no way in any sort of resemblance of the race car that they had, because he was very competitive around those guys that we saw him racing with in that group of about 5 cars around the number 13 spot.
Yeah, Evan, I think what happened is that, he got caught speeding. He's trying to make up some time there, coming out as quick as possible out of that corner, and he just lost it. And that I'd be doing the same. I think we would all be doing the same thing, trying to push it to the limit of what the car can do to try to make back up some ground that you lost down on pit road. But with that said, we've got some more scheduled pit stops down on pit road. Doug Roth's down there, Ben Burnett now making it to his pit stop, and he is going to nearly overshoot his pit stop, but does a fine job pulling right on in. Adam Hiley down on pit road as well. So scheduled pit stops with about 20 remaining here at Auto Club Speedway.
Brandon Chaburko comes down pit road from the top 2 to make his pit stop, which leaves John Higman Jr. out on the racetrack in the number 1 spot in the 60. All eyes going to be on him as into when he will decide to make what it will be his final stop of the evening, this time by the stripe. It is going to be 19 laps to go. He stays on the throttle coming up off the corner, comes down now on the pit road, got to slow it down in time. Looks like he does so. Very good entrance for John Higman Jr., and the leader is on pit lane.
Blaine Woodruff hitting on coming out of pit road now, exiting to the backstretch. Evan only taking right side, so this is where we see strategy start to play in. We saw one of the drivers that had first come down pit road pitted. He got right sides only.
John Higman Jr. going to come down pit road. Fuel only, no tires.
Wow, what a strategy
for the number 60 team. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before my mic started cutting out on me. The strategy is fun to see the different strategies that are being taking place. The first guy that came down pit road that took 4 tires, and now people are taking rights. John Higman Jr., like you just said, taking fuel only. And Jeff Eden just nearly lost it coming off of turn 4. That was kind of scary for that Ford machine. But Jeff Eden's got it collected up now. He's into turn 1, doing fine. Now, Jeff was on pit road for a long time, guys. I don't know if y'all caught that. He's 36 laps down. But I saw him for the longest sitting down on pit road. And maybe he was finishing up his steak or something.
John Wilco sitting P1 right now at a number 62 machine, as he has a 5-second cushion over Neil Fasakis, who is currently sitting position number 2. Again, none of these guys yet to make their pit stops. Obviously going to be scheduled stops when they do come down pit road. And again, I don't think we're going to see anybody stay out and try to stretch that fuel. That is an awfully long way to go, but we have seen stranger things happen. So just trying to keep tabs on who's gone where and who's done what, as John Wilco, right now your leader, as green flag pit stops slowly continue to cycle through.
Yeah, how about this, Evan, for strategy? The 77 car, J. Randall Watkins, taking 4 tires. J. Randall Watkins on the lead lap. He's out and away now, exiting turn 2 here, back up onto the racing surface. To the backstretch, J. Randall Watkins electing to take 4 tires and fuel here for his pit stop strategy. Another car down on pit road, Stephen Herring. Stephen Herring electing to take right sides and left sides, but I believe Mr. Herring may have been caught for speeding down on pit road. I'm not sure. Exiting pit road, 47. No, he wouldn't have been caught for speeding, but he may be finishing up his steak and potatoes as well on pit road.
Yeah, a little bit of big strategies. Everybody coming down pit road, trying to get themselves sorted out, and right now showing 15 cars on the lead lap as we run right now. We're going to step away and take once again a short commercial break. When we come back, hopefully going to still be under green flag conditions and watch this thing race it out to the checkered flag. You're watching the ITSR Intensely Twisted Sim Racing on MW Productions. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Green Flag Racing still currently out on the racetrack now. I think that Jeff Eden, he just pulled away out of his pit stop. I was going to say, I think Steven and Jeff may be eating the same steak and potatoes because they've been down on pit road for quite the longest, just chilling out in the car down there. But they're, one of them's moving. Jeff Eden's moving. Back out onto the race surface, though. Your race leader is still Neil Fasakis. The 89 car, he is yet to pit. And as he goes, I know what he's cutting it off. He's cutting it off. I just heard him cut it off. Could he be trying to save fuel? I don't think he can save that much fuel, Evan.
And that's something that I said that I wouldn't expect us to see unless he's going to want to bank on a yellow. You can save a lot of fuel on these yellow flags. It is a long way around. You can ride that flat part. Try to save what you can right now. He is going to come down pit road. Neil Fasakis 89 machine is going to come down. He's going to give up the number one spot.
Yeah, I think the crew chief just ran the numbers for the 15th or 16th time and said, Neil, you got to bring it down pit road. But the good thing is, Evan, he doesn't have to stay down on pit road for too long. Probably just going to get maybe 2 or 3 gallons, probably just to continue it out the rest of the way. We're under 10 laps to go. Yeah, fuel only for the 89 car, and he's out and away. No problem about a 4 or 5 second pit stop for him. But he will give up the lead for sure.
And that is going to put John Hagman Jr. in the number one spot as Neil Fasakis just now exiting pit road after making his stop. A very quick gas and go, but pit road is just so long here that he has no opportunity of trying to maintain any of these top spots, which sets us up to where we are now and the race to the checkered flag, because 10 laps to go for John Hagman Jr., that time by the stripe, 5.2 second advantage over Chaburko sitting second.
Oh, and J. Randall Watkins coming off of turn 4, getting into the outside wall. The 77 car going to get plowed into behind the 14 of Josh Cheney. He's going to get him. He'll be okay. Josh Cheney will be okay. He'll keep driving, but the 77 car is going to be on the grass. And he's going to come out on the racing surface. No caution, though.
The ITSR officials here trying to keep it green. We've seen a couple of spins down the front straightaway through the grass area there, but none of them have yet brought out a yellow flag. So trying to keep this thing green to the checkered flag. 5.3 seconds it is now between the cars first and second. Does not look like Brandon Chaburko has the speed that he would need if he wants to be able to close in on that number one spot right now. That could change, but it's a pretty big feat.
Yeah, it really is. He's going to need a caution more than likely to get back up with him. But I don't know if we'll see one. I think these guys are pretty much spread it out from each other. There's not too many guys that's on the back door of anybody. Adam Hiley's going underneath Douglas White, who's a lap down. The Scott Simley machine and Ben Burnett now, they're battling for 11th and 12th. Ben Burnett just took that position away from Scott Simley, so that's a pretty close, tight battle. But I don't know, Evan, unless there's a self-solo spin and it just so happens the yellow comes out at the right time, we may stay green.
Yeah, and it would not be uncommon to see a single car spin the way how this racetrack acts. J. Randall Watkins slow on the apron, got sideways at a corner number 4. He nearly went through the grass and is able to get back up to speed, but we saw him slow on the apron as we followed race leader John Higman Jr. just getting around him. Chaburko knocks off another 10th, making it down to 5.2 seconds, but unless Higman has some major issues or Brandon Chaburko turns on the nitrous oxide, it looks like it's all the 60 machine. Also, another thing to keep in mind, if you're not familiar with the iRacing services, there is no green-white checker, so if we do get a caution within the final 4 or 5 laps, and we don't get an opportunity to restart the race because there's not enough time, it will finish under the yellow flag. Regardless of what happens, it's only going to be an 8-4 lap race, no overtime.
Yeah, no overtime, that's exactly right. Brandon Chaburko, like you said, Evan, was closing in just a little bit, and he kind of slipped up, and he kind of closed back in. I just don't see him catching him. Jose Gonzalez, who was kind of dominant for the earlier part of tonight's race, running third. C.J. Lavere fourth. And Rhett McBride has climbed his way into the top 5. Adam Hiley just outside the top 5 and 6. Doug Roth 7th. Matt Lacrosse 8th. Josh Chaney 9th. And Chad Schilling rounding out the top 10. That's how they run now. We've still got a few more laps to go here. Only about, I'd say, 4 laps to go here?
And we're starting to close in on it. John Higman Jr. next time by the start-finish line will take 4 laps to go, which pretty much guarantees that from this point on, a yellow flag is going to be the end of it, and you can put it in the books. John Higman Jr. almost coming out of nowhere. We discussed Jose Gonzalez. We discussed Brandon Chaburko. John Higman Jr. up in the mix, started 7th. Next thing we know, is able to sneak up into the number 1 spot, and looks like he may be able to walk away with this thing. He came down pit road on lap number 66, which was about 5 laps after we saw the first car come down pit road for their final stop. Brandon Chaburko starting to close in, 4.7 seconds back as we are within 4 laps to go. John Higman Jr. just trying to make sure that car survives to the finish. Doesn't want to push it too hard. He's going to work that gap that he has and try to take this thing home, number 1, right now as we continue to go under green flag conditions at Auto Club Speedway, this time by the start-finish line. It will be 3 laps to go for the number 60 crew up at the front of the field. Brandon Chaburko trying to close in, unable to do so. Going to stay even, 4.7 seconds back between drivers P1 and 2.
Yeah, I think John Hickman Jr.'s got this one in the books, Evan, as long as he can just, like you said, just keep it off the wall or keep from spinning out. I think he's got it. Even with a caution, nobody can't help Brandon Chaburko none.
Trying to close it out, John Higman Jr. 2 laps to go in Fontana, California. The gap back to second place has only narrowed 2 more tenths. It's still a big cushion of 4.5 seconds as Higman exits the corner. Chaburko still navigating corner number 2, and it is all the number 60 machine. He'll be looking for that white flag this time as he enters 3 and 4.
Yeah, and John Higman Jr. Was not able to run last week at Bristol. This would be his 4th start out of 5 races, and he's sitting 18th in points. Man, a win here, buddy, would net him 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s. He'd be looking at maybe a top 10 run if he could win and pull this thing off here tonight, which I think undoubtedly he will.
He entered tonight again 18th in the championship standings. 42 back from Dwayne Vincent. Again, not in the field. Today's points leader. White flag is out on lap number 84. John Higman Jr. is going to qualify P7, jump to the lead in these closing laps as he comes at a turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. your winner in a Cali Surf Shop 84, going to be John Higman Jr. in the 60 machine.
All right, and well deserved, John. And what a race, and what a payoff that it was. John Higman Jr. strikes me as that guy who just comes in, week out, except for Bristol last week, and just takes it toe to toe and turf to turf, and deserving the win. John Higman Jr. in that 60 machine doing a fabulous job getting it here at Fontana. No other racetrack that I'd rather do it at than the old Western California Speedway.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of green flag racing, which is what the fans love to see. The drivers like it. Strategy came into it. When do you pit? Coming down to the end. A couple guys may have considered trying to push it on fuel. In the end, it is the 60 team who's going to get the right strategy, and he's going to park it here on the front straightaway and burn it down to celebrate his victory again as he finishes P1. John Higman Jr., you talked about his season so far, going to pick up second top 5, his third top 10, and win number 1 on this 2014 campaign.
And with that said, we're going to take our last commercial break and then return and have the post-race interviews here at the Auto Club Speedway. You're watching ITSR Twisted Cup Series, sponsored by Axio Sanitary Services, presented by MW Productions. We'll be back.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks and terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
And welcome back live to the post-race interviews here at Auto Speedway at the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, sponsored by Axio Sanitary Services and presented by MW Productions. I'm standing right here with one happy man, Jose Gonzalez. Maybe not so happy. Jose, you started from the pole. You were not as fast in practice, 7th in practice, but man, you really put that sucker on the pole. And in the earlier part of this race at Fontana, you were out there. You were in front. What happened?
Yeah, I gotta fire my pit crew. That's all. I gotta blame it on someone, right? Yeah, I got a few. I think once I slid to the pit on the green pit stops. The first 2 pit stops, I took 4 tires, and some people took 2, and so I lost a few spots on pit road, and you know, the clean air is really good. I could hang up there and save my tires, but when you're behind 5th or 6th, you gotta work it to make some passes. So that's how I got behind, and I couldn't get up front. I did take 2 left side tires on that last stop. I thought it would be because I was like 2 seconds behind the leaders, but I think John didn't take any tires. He just took a splash and went, and I guess that was the right call.
And Jose, you know, the league had set up at 3 different seasons within the 36 races, of course. we'll be halfway through it next week at Martinsville, and you're sitting second in points right now, just one back from the Black Dahlia that wasn't here tonight. So I think all green lights light up towards you leading the points going into the paperclip next week at Martinsville. Back in 16th currently, Brandon Chaburko's kind of lurking right there, and John Hegman Jr. in fact lurking back there after missing last week in 18th. So you solidified the top 3 here tonight. Congratulations. And with that said, would you like to throw any shout outs out tonight?
Yeah, like to thank CJ for getting this league up on Tuesday nights, ITSR, and it's been really fun, and yeah, I hope this block, we get some money for the winners of each block, so that would be great if I can get on top of these first races. And I want to congratulate John and Brandon for awesome race. Just one caution, so it was a really good night for everybody.
Absolutely. And Jose Gonzalez, thank you as always, sir.
Later.
Of course, Jose Gonzalez starting on the pole tonight, coming home in the podium finish, but not on the top box, if you will, on the third box. Moving on to the second place finisher. Now, Brandon Chaburko, if you go back and look at the practice, he finished first in practice. And if you go and look at qualifying and you look at the race, he was second quickest and he finished second. Brandon, what would you give to take your practice position and put it into the race position?
Well, I mean, that would have been awesome. I mean, like I said, I got to be aggressive, being a race down on these guys and, go out for the win every week. This one was all on me. Made the wrong call, took 4 tires, and, I'm proud that I was still able to get second out of it, but it was just the wrong call.
Let's talk Martinsville, the paperclip. Is that a throwaway track, if you will? The paperclip 134 lap set for next Tuesday night. Is that going to be a throwaway race, or do you like Martinsville?
I like the track, but it's honestly probably one of my worst tracks on the service, so it's probably going to be a throwaway, but hopefully we can just survive and get a nice top 5 finish out of there.
Brandon, one more question before I let you throw out the sponsors. Anybody like to give a shout out to? How many more laps did you need? How many more laps did you need? Because you were reeling him in slowly by little, but couldn't quite get there.
I don't know. I mean, I think eventually the tires were gonna even out pretty quickly, so it would have been a long time. I mean, 20, 30 laps maybe.
Brandon, you got a copy on me?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. Sorry for the weird cutout there. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I think the tires would have eventually started wearing down. I don't know if I ever would have caught them, maybe 20 or 30 laps or so, but I think the tires would have winded up evening out, and I don't know if I ever would have got to them, truth be told.
Well, we'll have to see what John says about it, but again, congratulations, Brandon Chaburko, on finishing second and qualifying second and getting that number 1 spot in practice. But we'll see you next week at Martinsville. You like to throw anything thanks out tonight?
Yeah, CJ for putting on the league. You guys and Exo Sanitary Services.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brandon Chaburko. We'll see you next week in Martinsville. Now I'm just caught up here with John Hegman Jr. John, wow, man, you pulled it off.
That's about how I look in it.
Yeah, man. Hey, you look sharp out there. Kind of looked like you were coasting through those corners, just kind of taking it easy. Me and Evan were talking about during the broadcast. I bet John's probably up there thinking, oh gosh, I hope I don't spin this thing out of 4. Oh gosh, I hope I don't spin this thing out of 2. Was that kind of running through your mind?
I'd say maybe towards a little bit of the middle of the race. Once I got up there out front and I had as big of a lead as I did, I was really just taking it easy. I wasn't really driving the car as absolutely hard as I could. I was just trying to turn consistent laps and trying to keep Brandon from gaining, as much time as he could on me. It seemed like he was maybe 2/10, 3/10 faster a lap or so.
Yeah, he appeared to be just a little bit, but like you said, going coasting through the corner. I was actually thinking too, perhaps that not that you're just trying to take it easy, but perhaps that maybe on that fuel stop, that the last pit stop you did, maybe you didn't put as much fuel in there as you had thought, and maybe you were going to be maybe a couple laps short, and maybe you were conserving a little bit. But I don't think that was the case after I saw those burnouts.
Yeah, I was good on gas. I had about, on my display here, I have 1.7 laps still to go. So I put 5.1 gallons in, and that was about the perfect amount I could have asked for.
Absolutely, and of course, now that this one's in the books, this is the rest is history, right? So now we look towards the future. Next Tuesday night, the Paperclip 134. Just like I asked Brandon, is Martinsville the throwaway track for you, or do you like Martinsville? Are you a Jeff Gordon at Martinsville?
I wish I was as good as Jeff Gordon at Martinsville, but it's a fun track. It's different. It's definitely a different change of pace going from here to there. It's just a totally different style of racing, and usually always makes for a pretty good show.
I was about to say, yeah, it's very entertaining. Track is one of the most favored on the circuit. And of course, after Martinsville, we go shooting the Cowboys and Indians out in Texas. Texas Shootout 114. And with that said, John, anybody like to thank for tonight? I know CJ's name's been tossed around a bunch. Yeah, and that's awesome. CJ putting this lead together is one thing that a lot of these guys here love, and this is what we do on Tuesday nights,
Oh yeah, they do a great job, CJ and all the guys at ITSR. I've really enjoyed racing over here. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Eden Construction, Jeff Eden, for getting me in this series and giving me a chance to race here with these guys. And like to thank you guys at MW Productions for putting on a great show.
Thank you very much. That's John Higman Jr., the winner tonight at Fontana Auto Club Speedway. He'll move up into the 14th spot in points. His sponsor, Jeff Eden, is in 13th in points. Brandon Cherburko makes the climb to 8th. And Jose Gonzalez, also known as Jose, takes over the points lead from the 13 car of Dwayne Vincent. Vincent falls all the way to 15th. Man, what a breakdown there. But next week is Martinsville. I'm pretty sure I could put money in a wager on it that we may see another points change up going into Texas. But with that said, me, Michael Keaton up in the booth. Evan Pasoko is with me. And MW, Michael Woolley, for pushing all the buttons. We'll see you next Tuesday night in Virginia. Put money in a wager on it that we may see another points change.
DGVertec.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built their web servers successfully throughout the years. The stress testing has been done so that they can provide you with an enhanced web hosting technology that they design for using future standards today for tomorrow. They offer 24/7 support for all web hosting plans. Their team answers support tickets 24/7. So if you have a problem at any time, an agent will be more than happy to help you. If you're not satisfied with your service within 7 days, then you can get a full money back guarantee with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DG Vertec should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgvertec.net today, your web hosting solution.
Hello?